Now, moving on to our next review topic, we have another extremely over-the-top, violent animation. I went out and saw Chainsaw Man: The Reze Arc in theaters. I'd had a coworker say he had a good time with it, and also when I realized this was um, that it was this story arc from the series, which basically featured the Bomb Devil, which is probably my favorite overall. When I read the manga,
Hmm.
uh, I was like, okay, you know what? Why not? Um, so on the first thing I'll say, on a scale of how understandable would this be if you hadn't actually watched the series up to this point? Um, one being, I have absolutely no idea what's going on because they're always talking heavy continuity, and five being, oh, there's a series about this too? Cool. I would never have guessed. I would put this at like uh, I'll probably give this a 3. Get some points docked because it is a one-to-one adaptation of the manga, so there are side characters who aren't really introduced at all who show up at a couple of points.
Oh, okay.
Uh, but on the flip side, it's in the middle of a big fight, so you wouldn't necessarily like you just and okay, Chainsaw Man. Okay, I think of Chainsaw Man, My Hero Academia, and Demon Slayer as being like the three horsemen of manga eating American comics lunch 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Although apparently Chainsaw Man, just in terms of raw sales, isn't up there with those other ones. Also, Jujutsu Kaisen, so
Mm.
four horsemen, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, I think Chainsaw Man has the lowest sales of those four, um, but they all have their own flaws or their own. Like every one of their main characters, I say, is like missing something to be a complete human being. In Denji, aka Chainsaw Man's case, um, he is a he had a awful hard scrabble life growing up. I literally sold, I believe he sold one of his eyes and one of his testes for food money at one point.
Wow.
Like awful hard scrabble life.
Yeah.
And so he basically operates at the low levels of Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Uh,
And I don't know that the movie would necessarily it doesn't necessarily give you that context because it kind of starts like uh, with one of the minor characters or one of the major supporting characters, Power, being pulled out and him getting a temporary replacement who is a land shark.
mm.
But in this world, basically, there are devils of things that people are afraid of. So the mightiest of them all is the Chainsaw Devil, who ended up implanted in Denji's chest and operates as his heart. If he pulls the ripcord on his chest, he turns into Chainsaw Man.
Mm.
Uh, and so, the more powerful a fear is, the more devastating the devil. So it's like the sword devil, very powerful, able to operate on about the same level as Chainsaw Man. There are devils for lesser fears that are commensurately much less powerful. They also don't really go into that lore either. What the movie does do very well, though, is it, how to put it? Have you seen the meme where it says, "What guys want in a woman?" It's just basically, is female, cares about you.
Yeah.
That's the end of the list of requirements.
Yeah.
Denji is just that easy because he has a meet cute with this young woman named Reze and a couple of very awkward dates. And it's like, okay, something is wrong here because Denji is not remotely charismatic. Like the first time he meets this girl, he had been offered a flower and he said, "Oh, thanks." And because again, food is food, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, he just eats the flower. And then when he wants to impress this girl, he proceeds to spit the flower back up and gives it to her, and she is not immediately running, screaming the other direction.
uh, Yeah. Ninja says, yeah, the anime manga about the dangers of simping.
Not even just the dangers of simping, the dangers of like just male loneliness epidemic in general.
Yeah.
Um, and so the relationship seems to be going well. She likes him. They swim together naked. This earned its R rating for a variety of reasons.
Mm.
I didn't stop there from being like it was either like somewhere between 12 and 14-year-old kid with his mom in the row in front of me.
Uh, ooh.
So it's like, you know what? If you're okay with your kid watching that, at least you're here moderating.
Yeah.
But at a key moment, it turns out that shock of shock, and I don't honestly this story has been told in the manga long enough. Uh, if you have watched the Chainsaw Man anime, you've probably already seen this. If not, it is a complete-ish story.
Mm.
But then she attacks, and what do you know? It turns out the older girl who inexplicably liked him, this teenage doofus, was the bomb devil the whole time,
Ah.
sent to assassinate him. And part of the reason this is my favorite arc of the manga is first off, I am a sucker for romance, even if it is like misplaced.
Mm.
Because like there is a tragic element to it. It's like a Batman Catwoman thing if Batman had the emotional maturity of a 6-year-old. Uh, Also, the fight scenes in this are just so monumentally crazy and imaginative. Um, like you notice that there's the land shark down there. Notice how he instead of fins he has like spider legs.
Oh, yeah.
Denji rides him like a horse at one point,
Okay.
like running sideways up walls. And it's the sort of I think I've always thought of Chainsaw Man as being like the visual descendant of things like Venom and Carnage in
Mm.
terms of like these snaggly toothed superhumans with like chaotic bodies and everything.
Yeah.
Uh, and so it it appeals to me on that level, but also like it is a tragic story in its own ways. And while I did ding it slightly for basically not adding any exposition scenes, um, I think the characters it actually focuses on, you do get a good sense of them.
Mm.
Also, the animation is very insane. Like I would say that I saw the Demon Slayer movie last month. That one has objectively better animation, but this is a Mappa joint, and Mappa is known for being weird and experimental. And boy, did they go weird and experimental in that fight scene.
Uh,
Can, like they play around um, with lines and color and movement in ways that I haven't seen before. And even in moments where I said, I don't know if I necessarily like how that looks, it was over so quickly and moved on to the next crazy way to show uh, a man with chainsaws for arms riding on top of a land shark while fighting an enormous baby
no.
in the middle of a cyclone.
Oh, Jesus.
Um, like it's just for sheer visual spectacle, I think you can have a good time with it. It's also a faster story than Demon Slayer, both in terms of runtime, but also in terms of pacing. Because rather than being a series of fights that don't necessarily resolve, this does have a beginning, middle, and end. So that
Okay.
alone makes it a better use of your movie dollar.
Yeah. Okay.
You also know that this is going to get chopped up and put into the next season of the show. So if it wasn't already part of the show, I kind of fell off the show itself because I fell off the manga where I was ahead of it.
Mm.
So, but either way, there's going to be an alternate way to watch this besides seeing it in the theaters. I would just say that this is worth your time if, like, honestly, if what we described about Space King sounds appealing at all, this is like a teen-friendly version of Space King in some ways,
Yeah.
even a similar element of child soldiers.
Oh. Oh. Huh. Okay.
Like that's where Reze has some depth. Is that like, okay, is she just you?
Mm. Are you still there, DB? I think looks like we might be having some technical issues with DB.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, you cut out there for about 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you were saying something about I can't remember what you were talking about.
Oh, okay. So apologies if I repeat myself. This is a movie with a distinct beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah.
So it's a more complete story. And while Denji himself is a very simple character, he's simple in an interesting way because he just operates on such an instinctual level that, like, he isn't Deku he isn't Deku crying as he realizes the depth of what's going on around him. He
Hmm.
isn't Tanjiro who has sympathy for his enemies.
Hmm.
He's just a young kid who wants 3 squares a day, a place to sleep, and maybe a boob occasionally.
Yeah. Okay.
He is dead simple.
Yes.
I actually found myself when I was talking about a coworker about it, Matt, remembering Ogre Cap from the Cinderella Grey Uma Musume series on
Yeah.
Amazon, where her whole thing is, "Why do you run?" Well, I couldn't walk when I was a kid, so just walking is a miracle to me.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar with Denji, where it's like any sort of human affection is like an unimaginable miracle for him.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
the real complexity is in the characters around him.
Hmm. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I've been meaning to get into this series, since it came out, because it's just, it seems like just the right level of batshit crazy for me that I could probably enjoy it.
Right. I would say it's less batshit crazy than Space King.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you got anything on a Space King, you'll probably enjoy this too.
Oh, okay.